do it, God. Let me do it my way. And if I look around in the world right now, that's our attitude.
Come on, Josiah.
That's our attitudes. Who are we leading and what are we following? The right example is what we need, and that's Christ. But we so worried about ourselves, folks. We so worried about not being liked or not being accepted. Christ wasn't either, but he still rode. Is it important? For me, it was a reality check to say, okay, I've made mistakes. I had to get to some nit and grit in my testimony just so these girls would know I'm not picture perfect. I done been through some things. I done done some crazy stuff. And I had to let them know. But guess what? When I'm telling them this, I'm not bragging. What I'm saying is, listen to me. Why? Use me. I already made the mistakes. I was infiltrated with cancer. They had to kill my whole body just so you don't have to make the same crazy mistakes. Because I tell them all the time, who told you you couldn't get cancer at 19? Nobody tell me. It just came. No one prepared me for it. But if I can do anything, church, adults, you know what you've been through. You know what you've been through. You've had your own form of cancer. Did it hurt you enough so you can help them? Or are you still dealing with it? You've been on chemo for 40 years.
My Lord.
Radiation for 20 years.
My Lord.
And still hurting, wondering why you can't get better. They got the cure, Jesus Christ. But we don't want it. We just rather keep going to our appointments to get treated. Okay. 26, because I got to move to my last one. He said he was buried in the grave in the garden of Uzzah, and Josiah, his son, became king.
He did right with the Lord.
22. Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jediah, the daughter of Adiah and Bozekah. He did right in the sight of the Lord and walked in the way of his father David, nor did he turn aside to the right or to the left. We need some Josiahs. We need some Josiahs who are going to stand up despite what their mothers and fathers did and make a change. Not for ourselves. See, my life is not my own. To him I belong. I gave it away. Right? So everything that I think, I see, and I feel, it doesn't matter. I got to consult it with the Father because this is his life that he's directing.
That's right.
This is his life that he's directing. But we don't even take the moment to just ask. We don't even want to open our Bible just to read. We want to drive by God and wonder why we're not growing. What example are we setting in the home? Ms. Cleta just said it best. We lead a Bible study. It was not an option in the Darby household. Purpose-driven life, 40 days. I hated every 40 days, but I had to do it. Because that was my mom and dad's rule. We're going to do this. Bible study on Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock. Mama tried to butter us up. I made breakfast. We all on breakfast. She tried to do all this stuff. Tuesday nights, Dad's like, hey, we're going to listen to one of these sermons on the thing, and we're going to sit here and we're going to talk. We didn't want to do it, but guess what? We had to. Guess what? My mom and dad didn't care if we didn't want to. And let me tell you, couldn't get more stale than stale. Just ugly faces, right? In the middle of talking about God. Yes, I had an attitude. Yes, my face was all bent out of shape. But my mom and dad didn't care. Push through. We're going to share. We're going to talk about God. As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Now, what you do outside of this house, that's fine. Parents, don't be afraid. They ain't going to like it. That's fine. They'll come back and appreciate it. 26. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Daddy. I know. I'm telling you. I thought they was crazy, too, y'all. I thought they was crazy. DJ, no. I used to call DJ all the time. DJ, they crazy. I don't know what's going on. But they knew what they were doing because they were trusting God to take care of us. But they were faithful. You got to do the same thing. That lady didn't want to take the cell phone. Me and Miss Cleta had to tell her, Miss Cleta, you take them cell phones. No, you take them cell phones. She's like, okay, I'll take the cell phone. Like, we had to just tell her, take them cell phones. You don't you be scared, you take them cell phones. You got to take them. It's okay. I don't mind doing it if that means you're not going to hell. Because if I'd have let my girls have it, they'd have been distracted.
There you go.
Then they had all kind of things. Everything would have been in disarray and out of order. Gotta set the right example, folks. We gotta set the right example. I want to turn to John chapter 15, and we're gonna look at Christ's example, and then I'm gonna close it out right here. John 15, and we're gonna go to verse 7. Give y'all some time. Get there. All right, we're going to pick up in verse 7. And it says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit. So prove to be my disciple. Just as the Father has loved me, I have also loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I've kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. The example, he had to remain in God.
That's right.
We got to remain in Christ to know he's our example. Because when we step out, that's when we start to do what we want to do.
Amen.
And we just like this. Just, the wind blows, we just like this. Solid foundation. You gotta abide. Abide means to make a place, make your home. You gotta get nestled there. You gotta get comfortable with God in your uncomfortableness in being in faith. But you have to get comfortable. You have to. If not, we saw how King Hezekiah's lineage went. That's how ours is gonna look too. And we wonder why so many are just straying away from the church. So we're not taking it serious. We're not taking it serious. Adriana touched my heart when she shared her story about Mary. And she shared her story about her cousin. And then she shared her heart about her friends and what she has to do. And I said, I wonder if parents of children who knew that their child died, was going to commit suicide, if they knew ahead of time, what would they have done? But see, you did know. You just didn't care enough because you didn't think it could be your child. So we just sitting in the waiting room, basically. Nurse, my child commit suicide. All right, read my magazine, back to my business. Nurse, did you see my child? No, okay. Instead of running to the Father's feet so he can run to them. We're too busy scared, so we just want to sit in and be distracted in the waiting room. No, get out on the battlefield. It's time to go. These kids need us. We know what's out there.